All right, I'm excited. I've been waiting to do this for ages. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. Do hope you're doing well. Genuinely, wholeheartedly do hope that. Yeah, man, I've been waiting to do this for a while. I've sort of been putting on ice, but it's a nice, chilled Saturday. There is some Chelsea news to speak about, but I'm going to put a pin in that for the moment. I'll do another video later or tomorrow or whatever, speaking about that. But I want to do my predictions video for next season. Because we've made 5 signings, we know we've got a strong squad, we know what's going on and like everything, and I feel like, I mean, obviously everything's speculative. Until you see pre-season games, it's all speculative, but I kind of wanted to play this game and do the predictions before I see pre-season, because pre-season can throw you off. Sometimes they just want to play kids to see if they can be in the squad, or it's a fitness thing. Literally, I wanted to do it now before the season kicks off at all, including pre-season. So this predictions video will include where Chelsea will finish in the Premier League, where they'll finish in the FA Cup, League Cup, Europa Conference League, who will be the top scorer for Chelsea, who will be the top 4 assists for Chelsea, the player of the season, surprise package, and most minutes. I could say like young, maybe youth player surprise package as well. Maybe I'll do young player of the season as well. So we're going to go through every single one of these today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I kind of know in my head, I've sort of written down who I think. I'm going to show my working and explain it to you guys. And of course, as always, put it out to you guys in the comments. Let me know who you'd switch and what you disagree with, what you agree with. So thank you for hanging out with me today. It should be a bit of a fun video. Strap yourselves in. Thank you for supporting by subscribing, hitting the bell if you subscribe. Thank you for liking the video and all that lovely good stuff. All right, let's get into it. So we are going to start on league position. I'm going to sip my coffee, one sec. Delicious. I'm going to start on league position, which is the big one, I guess. The Premier League, where we're going to finish in the Premier League. Now, I'm going to tell you what it is first, and then I'm going to show you my working. So I predict Chelsea to go up the table, but maybe not as much as you think. I think Chelsea will finish 5th. In the Premier League, definitely qualifying for Europa League, no matter what, and not the Conference League. And I think that would be enough for Maresca to keep his job, because I'm hoping that in this 5th place finish, that the players feel good, they like the manager, they like the play style, there's a clear identity with how Chelsea play, a consistency with selection, maybe like a massive reduction in injuries, and generally the vibe is positive. And if when you finish 5th, you're in the top quarter of the Premier League where you finished. And I think that would be a positive change. I don't know if the coefficient can change in England's favour enough so that 5th qualifies you for the next season's Champions League. I'm not sure that's the case. I doubt it, but maybe there's a scenario where 5th gets you Champions League. I know that they've written down the reports are Chelsea want top 4 from Maresca. I've been talking to you guys about that. I think that's a little bit fanciful. Not that I think Maresca's a bad appointment, but maybe they could say that to Pochettino. And I understand why Pochettino's gone and Maresca's in, but you are bringing in a guy who's managed in the Championship, who's going to change the style of football completely. And you want us to get better. In fact, if you were really like understanding and, you know, forward thinking, you might expect a little bit of regression for the greater good, because apparently this is the guy that plays the football you want. This is the guy that's going to work within your parameters that Pochettino wouldn't. So you're like, right, this is finally the guy, the project guy. So maybe we drop back to 7th or 8th, but then we get 4th and we're on the now we've got the guy. But no, they want top 4. I'd love it, of course. Heck, I'd love for us to be a complete surprise package and somehow win the Premier League. Arne Slot doesn't do it for Liverpool. Guardiola's freaking out about the charges, and, City aren't as good somehow, and we just somehow, Arsenal drop off, and we, it wouldn't be a miracle, it wouldn't be a fairy tale because it's Chelsea, but it would be a lovely surprise. I do have a feeling, though, we'll be good next season, more consistent throughout, disappointing moments, but we will finish 5th. And we will better the last campaign. Okay, so that's the Premier League finish. Let me know if you disagree. Right, FA Cup. By the way, you're not going to like my FA Cup and League Cup predictions, because Yeah. FA Cup semi-finals. So we'll be at Wembley, and I feel like we'll go out in the semi-finals again. Again, just because I'm predicting this, guys, is not saying I want it. I just don't think necessarily this team that we've got are grown up enough yet to necessarily get over the line in these big high-profile games against high-profile Premier League opposition. We can beat them in the league in just random vibes moments, but I don't think we're quite there yet as a... Like, look at the teams that have won it recently. Even like Man United, they had big boys in there. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, or Nana, and just everyone. They've got grown... They've got a couple of kids, but in those big games, you need like, older people. And I think we'll go out in the semis for the FA Cup. I think we'll get to the final of the League Cup, but again, for the same reason... I'm going to just predict us as runners-up and not winners. And look, you might be like, oh, Jan's being negative. Wait. But I can just see, that it does make me feel sick to my stomach predicting that. Hopefully I'm jinxing us and we just win it all. And that is another 2 visits to Wembley in failure, which does make me very sad as a legacy Chelsea fan. But, yeah, because of course the FA Cup semis are at Wembley as well. So yeah, it'd be very frustrating. Hopefully it's just not both to constantly Liverpool again, because that's an absolute sickener. And hopefully we win everything. But that's how I can see it at the moment. But I'm not telling you guys we're not going to win any trophies next season. All right, so I do stand by the whole these young players, coming up against Liverpool or Man City at Wembley. I don't think they're quite ready to go over the line. But I do think a European Conference League level team, they will be able to get over the line. And as much as I'd like to be wrong about the other ones, I'd like to be right about this. I predict Chelsea next season, Europa Conference League champions, winners to complete the set and become the first team in world football, European football, to win every single trophy available, overtaking Man City. Does Man City even have a Europa League? I'm not sure they do. Maybe they do. I'm not sure they do. They certainly don't have a Conference League because only 2 other teams do. And Chelsea can be the first to win every single trophy, and you can bet your ass that we will push that or Chelsea as a club will promote that as like the first club. And opposition teams will be like, yeah, but we only haven't won it because we don't. You don't want to be in that competition. Fine, I'm not too. I haven't got like too much shame to not want to win the Conference League. I do. I want to win every single trophy. Just playing. I don't want to play in it again. I don't want to be in the Conference League again. Although I do like the opportunity to play some youngsters, play different teams, cultures. I do think there's benefits to that. But I'll be a lot more annoyed at being in the Conference League after we've won it. So let's just win it, and then we're like, yeah, we won every single one. Oh, you want to see a trophy? Yeah, we've got all of them here. We've got all of them. We've got every single trophy. So I predict it will be heavy favourites for the Conference League, but I predict us to win it. All right, let's talk about players. So, top goal scorer. You'll be thinking, ooh, Cole Palmer again. Maybe Nico Jackson. I'm going to go a little bit left field, and I'm going to say Christopher Nkunku. I know he's not played much. We've seen him score 2 or 3 goals. Excellent goals. I think if he is... And obviously there's caveats here. If he's going to be in the starting lineup, obviously, I've written in brackets here unless a high-profile striker is signed. So that's a big if and but and caveat, right? But I have a feeling that we might see Nkunku be played as a striker or off the left. He's an amazing finisher, Nkunku. He can just score goals. He can score goals. He will score goals. I'm not going for Cole Palmer because I think Cole Palmer won't. This is, again, I'm reiterating my speculation here, but I don't think he's going to be as freedom, gung-ho, do what you want as he was under Pochettino, which served him well. I still think he'll have a good season, Palmer, but I feel like Nkunku could be the top goal scorer. He is people are sleeping on Nkunku. He is our superstar attacker. I know, like, Cole Palmer is kind of that now, but Nkunku is the one that will score all types of goals. He's a finisher. He is a chance finisher. That's the type of player he is. He'll score headers, he'll ghost in behind, he'll volley it, he'll, just sniff them out in the box. He'll do all kinds of finishes. Like, he'll play much more like a striker than Cole Palmer would as well. And he's older, he's a big boy. How's he? 26, 27? Nkunku, for me, is the top goal scorer. All right, so let's move on to top assists. And yeah, you know, if he keeps his space, he'll start the season. I think Keenan Dewsbury Hall, he got a decent amount of assists last season, and when they won the championship. He's very creative. He likes to score goals, but I just have a feeling that he will get in those spaces in the Enzo Maresca system where he will register assists, provided he keeps his place and he's a starter, which I guess he will be, at least at the beginning of the season. I feel like he could be top for assists. Again, what you probably notice here, guys, is, well, Jan, you haven't given Cole Palmer top goals scorer or top assists. And let's just say this is for the Premier League, right? In isolation. I still think Cole Palmer will get a lot of goals and a lot of assists. I feel like if these guys are starters, and Nkunku and Dewsbury Hall, I think Nkunku will get top goal scorer, and I think Kieran Dewsbury Hall will get top assister. Is that assister? Right. But player of the season, I'm going for Cole Palmer. So despite those guys being top goal scorer in my prediction and top for assist, I still have Cole Palmer as player of the season. I see him scoring goals. I see him making assists, even if it's not as much as the other guys in those particular metrics. I see him also dribbling. I see him do creative passing. I see him having clutch goals. I see him scoring winning goals in really high-octane, tense moments. I was just looking, actually, at the Chelsea-Man United game. I forgot that he completed a hat-trick. He scored an early goal, Palmer, against Man United. Yeah, it was 4-3, wasn't it? It was 4-3, and we were losing 3-2. Because Gallagher and Palmer had scored in the game. And we were losing 3-2, Garnacho scored a brace, and it was like, oh, we're going to lose to Man United. And in the 90th plus 10, so the 100th minute, Cole Palmer equalises for a penalty. And then he scores that volley at the end. A minute later, he scores 2 goals in like seconds. To win it from 3-2 down to 4-2 winners. And that is the kind of guy Cole Palmer is. Obviously completing his hat-trick to beat his boyhood club, Man United. So I feel like he's still that guy, and that's still going to be represented in him winning player of the season for me. So just from when I started the video here, I've also put young player of the season. I was thinking, like, is Santos going to stay? I don't know. I'm just going to say Mark Gue. I think he might come on as a sub a little bit. I think he might start, cup and conference games maybe. I think he's on 50k a week, significant money. I don't think he's going to go on loan. I know there's talk about him going into Sevilla on loan or something, and maybe that will happen. I'd like him to stay personally, and especially if we don't buy another striker. So that's Nkunku, Jackson, and Mark Gue. So I'd like him to say, he's 18 years old, so he very much qualifies for young player of the season. I'm going to say Mark Gue for young player of the season. Right, so there's 2 more. I've gone for surprise package, and I've gone for most minutes. So for surprise package, which is like a player that surprises you, that does well, and maybe, you didn't expect it. I've gone for Renato Vega. So this is a little bit like in the same way maybe a Malo Gusto was a surprise package, like didn't cost much money. But Renato Vega cost like, £11.5 million, wasn't it? It's not very, very little money. He costs very little money, Renato Vega. And he's so impressive when he talks. He speaks 5 languages. He's very, very intelligent. He looks quite in good shape. He's tall. Chelsea lacking height. And he's so appropriate in terms of profile, that sort of inverting midfielder, centre-back, left-back. I feel like he might not start, but he might rotate a lot with Cucurella. He might start certain games in different positions, and I feel like he basically won't go on loan, and he'll be utilised in the Chelsea first team squad. Therefore, at such a low cost in purchase, that renders him a surprise package for me. And finally, and a lot of these are risky, hot takes and risky calls here. For most minutes, and I think, obviously, goalkeeper would be the obvious one, but I feel like because, Sanchez is going to start, but we're going to buy another goalkeeper and Sue's better, I think there might be a switching again. So I've gone for Tosin for most minutes. Not my boy Wesley Fofana, not a Levi Colwill, not the Monaco boys. Of course, centre-back's obviously a really safe bet. I feel like Tosin, he's been there from minute 1 in pre-season. He's a bit more senior than the other guys. He's 26, 27. He looks like a leader. he said in his interview, "Oh, yeah, I'm a leader," and you've already seen in the training videos the way he orders people around, cheers them up, and says, "You'll get this next one. No, don't say no," and all this kind of stuff. And again, it's really reductive, but Chelsea lacking height. This dude is like a basketball player, super tall. He's played in the Premier League already a lot. He's proven he's a good player in the Premier League. I just feel like Maresca likes to have solid foundation of a lineup. I feel like he might look at Tosin and go, right, you're my guy. You're my guy. You know, it's your place to lose. Hopefully we can get Fofana fit again and you can play in, like, you know, the Cups and the Conference League and this, that and the other. But I have a feeling Tosin's going to get most minutes next season. Cool. So that's my predictions for now, what I think. Maybe I'll do it again after we've seen, you know, the preseason games. Not that I'm going to watch the preseason games, or most of them, because they're like 3 a.m. for me. You know, I'd get up for Premier League game. For those of you who says, Jan, I get up in the middle of the night all the time to watch Premier League and Championship Leagues game. Yeah, but would you get up in the middle of the night to watch a friendly? That's the question. Yeah. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Really keen to hear your version of my metrics there. Or sorry, my not metrics. Titles, segments. Can't speak English. Anyway, give me your answers to those questions. And yeah, hope to see you back here soon. Keep it locked, guys. Peace.